Hello and welcome back to I24 News Sports Daily Magazine. And how nice it is to be back. Football, tennis, motorsports, so much to talk about. So let's get started. The World Cup ended almost a month ago, and as always, it was the stage to show your talent. Those players who put on a good show for their national team were quick to be rewarded. They found themselves in a new club and with a very high contract. Samuel Calvo and Benjamin Chong Alvarez take a look at the booming European transfer market.
The World Cup is not just a single appointment for all football lovers. It also allows players to use this event as a springboard for their careers. And for some, the 2014 World Cup proved to be a great opportunity. Colombia's James Rodriguez was the main star in his team's quarterfinal run. The 23-year-old was the leading goal scorer of the tournament with 6 goals to his name, and is now on the move from Monaco to Real Madrid. Two clubs have agreed on a transfer of approximately 80 million euros, one of the highest in history. James signed in Madrid for 6 seasons with an annual salary of 6 million euros. Staying with Real Madrid, the Merengues also wanted a world champion in their squad, and they chose Toni Kroos, one of the leading players of the German national team, who makes the move from Bayern München. The Spanish Giants paid 25 million euros for his transfer.
I want to thank from the bottom of my heart Real Madrid for giving me the chance to come here, for giving me the opportunity to play for this amazing club, which in my eyes is the biggest in the world.
Real Madrid and Barcelona are formidable opponents on the field, but also on the transfer scene. Both Spanish clubs chased Luis Suarez, who made a cannibal name for himself this summer. Suarez eventually opted for Barcelona, where he will play for the next 5 seasons. The club from Catalonia sent a check worth 81 million euros to Liverpool for the transfer. This is the biggest single deal so far in the summer transfer period. The Barcelona striking power is now completely South American, made up of Uruguay's Luis Suarez, Brazil's Neymar, and Argentina's Leo Messi. Another big name on the move is Antoine Griezmann. He had an important role in France's World Cup run that led the tricolor to the quarter-final. He now joins Spanish champions Atletico Madrid, who paid his former club Real Sociedad 30 million euros. Griezmann signed a contract with the team from the Vicente Calderón Stadium for the next 6 seasons.
When they called me, it was a quick decision. It is a big club with a big project. It's the Champions League 2014 finalist and the Spanish League champion. So I did not ask myself anything, and I said yes.
Griezmann is not the only French player on the move. After shining in Brazil, midfielder Mathieu Valbuena leaves Marseille after 8 years of loyal service. Small Bicycle, as he's nicknamed in France, signed a 3-year contract with Russian club Dynamo in Moscow. The transfer fee involves around 7.5 million euros, and the player himself will earn a salary of 10 million euros over this period. Big names moving, big money changing hands, and there's still a whole month to go before the transfer period ends. Don't be surprised if we see more players making their move in the month to come.
The new football season is just around the corner. The teams are now in the final stages of preparations. One team that would love the coming season to look completely different from the previous one is Manchester United. Judging by what their warm-up looks like, there's plenty of room for optimism for the fans in Old Trafford.
European football has set off the conquest of America. The big clubs of the old continent all meet up in the United States for the Champions Cup, a pre-season tournament which aims to promote football, or soccer as they call it, on American soil. Manchester City, Liverpool, AC Milan, Real Madrid and Manchester United, all the greatest names are there. In Group A, the Merengues played against the Red Devils in front of a crowd of more than 110,000 spectators. After the opening goal of Ashley Young for Manchester United, Real Madrid equalised from the penalty spot after a foul on Gareth Bale. It was the Welsh himself who took care of it, and it's 1-1. The Red Devils eventually regained the advantage on a cross by Ashley Young. Again, neither the defence nor Wayne Rooney touched the ball. Casillas is surprised, and Manchester United are 2-1. Cristiano Ronaldo came in from the bench to delight the fans, but the Portuguese superstar returns from injury and couldn't really help his team. The European champions conceded a third goal scored by Chicharito on a perfect assist of Kagawa. The Red Devils win 3-1 and qualify for the final of the Champions Cup. The perfect debut for the new manager, Louis van Gaal.
Two Italian clubs, Inter and Roma, joined United and Real Madrid in Group A of the Champions Cup. A few days before losing to the Red Devils, Real Madrid faced the team from the Italian capital. Did it look better for the European champions? The answer is not really. With a rather unusual purple outfit, Real Madrid was overplayed by Roma. Francesco Totti, who will turn 38 next month, scored the only goal of the match. Roma beats Madrid 1-0. And this is what the final table of Group A looks like. Manchester United with 2 wins and a draw makes it to the final tonight in Florida. Inter is second. Fellow Italians Roma are third, and the European champions from Madrid only managed 1 draw and 2 defeats. Reasons for concern at the Bernabeu? The answers will come soon once La Liga starts at the end of the month. Last season, the race for the Championship and the Premier League was the tightest we have seen for years. At the end, it was Manchester City who came on top, leaving Liverpool at second. The two of them met in Group B of the Champions Cup. Did the Citizens come on top again, or was it payback time? Mathieu Taubmann and Gabi Weiniger with the answer.
In Group B, it was a flawless course for Liverpool, following their inaugural victory against Olympiacos. The mighty Reds were facing a familiar rival, Premier League champions Manchester City. Yankee Stadium changed a bit. No strikes and home runs this time. It's soccer time in the Bronx. Liverpool pushed early on but failed to score, as goalkeeper Caballero denies Ricky Lamert's header. Chances came on the other side as well. Jesus Navas with the chance for City, but Brad Jones intervenes. We had to wait for the second half for the first goal of the match. Navas crosses to Stevan Jovetic, and the striker from Montenegro finds the net. The Citizens have the lead 8 minutes after the break. Liverpool was quick to respond after a nice combination. Jordan Henderson beats the keeper with a powerful shot, 1-1. Both teams pushed forward to get the win. City had the better chances and they also get the lead again. And it's Jovetic again, the Liverpool keeper unable to block his shot. Game over? Not yet. Once again, the team from Anfield is able to catch up. 5 minutes from time, Raheem Sterling gets a perfect ball, sneaks in and out the penalty area and shoots. Joe Hart is helpless. 2-2 was the final score, and we're on to a penalty shootout. Manchester City may be the Premier League champions, but it seems they have some issues when it comes to penalties. They missed 3 of them. Brazilian midfielder Lucas nails the last shot for Liverpool, who gets the win.
Greek champions Olympiacos and Milan joined the 2 English sides in Group B, and as it seems, just like in the last few seasons, Milan will be left way behind. Things were much easier for Manchester City against a team from northern Italy than they were against Liverpool. It only took the English champions 11 minutes to grab the lead, courtesy of Stevan Jovetic, who is the leading goal scorer in the tournament. 2 minutes go by and they score again. This time it's Scott Sinclair. Filippo Inzaghi, one of the most beloved symbols of the club, took over the Milan manager position this summer. Symbol or not, if they keep playing like this, club owner Silvio Berlusconi will not keep him for a long time. Their defense is simply terrible. 4 defenders just watch as Nigerian striker Kelechi Iheanacho nails the 4th, and we're still deep in the first half. The only good news for Milan, they did get 1 goal back just before halftime, but Manchester City was not done yet. Jovetic scored the first one, he also got the last one. The Milan defense so easily beaten again and again. 5-1 was the final score. It could have been even worse. Not only Manchester City humiliated Milan, the Italians also lost 3-0 to Olympiacos. Could they at least get some kind of redemption in their last match? Not really. 3 days after overcoming City, Liverpool met the Rossoneri and took the lead on 17 minutes following another terrible mistake by the Italian defense. It took some effort, but eventually the ball found the net. Joe Allen is the man who scores. The mighty Reds, this time in yellow, were the better side all throughout, and just as the game was ending, they secured the win. Spanish midfielder Suso Fernandez fires in from outside the area. 2-0 was the final score. This is what the final table of Group B looks like. Liverpool advances to the final with 2 victories and a draw. Manchester City, this time only second. Olympiacos are third, and Milan, and a miserable tournament with no points, a terrible goal difference, and a lot to think about. Another warm-up tournament was the traditional Emirates Cup held at Arsenal's Emirates Stadium. The Gunners may have had the home advantage, but the trophy travels to Spain. Valencia won the tournament. The Spanish side managed a 2-2 draw with Monaco in the first match and a 3-1 victory over Benfica in the second match. Arsenal beat the Portuguese side 5-1 in their first match, but lost to the team from the Riviera the following day. The French League will begin this coming weekend. It will be the first of the big European leagues to begin the new season, but the big story in France is the one taking place now in the second league. Action in Ligue 2 began this past weekend. 20 teams took to the pitch, but the league will this season be made up of 21 teams. French football dignitaries originally banned tiny Lausanne to join the second division, saying they were too small, but the tiny club, who represents a village of 650 people, appealed the decision, and the court reversed it, saying they are allowed to compete since they rightfully earned the promotion from the third division. Fabien Barthez, the former France and Manchester United goalkeeper, is the managing director of the small club, who will now aim for the first league. Will they face PSG or Monaco as early as next season? If you're from Britain or one of the former British colonies, then you know that apart from the Olympics, the most important thing is the Commonwealth Games. They're also held every 4 years and attracting big names. The 2014 Games just ended with big stories and big names.
The 20th edition of the Commonwealth Games have just ended in Glasgow, Scotland. In 2014, the competition is particularly unique.
We have a total of 4,929 athletes here, more than at any previous edition of the Games, which makes Glasgow 2014 the biggest Games ever.
This year, Britain is the big winner with 174 medals. Australia came in second place with 137 medals in total. And Canada is in third place with a total of 82 medals. But the real reason for the competition is to allow athletes from the Commonwealth nations to show themselves on the international stage.
So it's very, very important that we remember who we're here for, and that is the Commonwealth and the peoples of the Commonwealth and the athletes of the Commonwealth. We provide a great platform for athletes in their athletic and sporting careers. We've seen many, many athletes come to the Commonwealth Games, be exposed to a multi-sport environment and go forward to World Championships and Olympic Games and perform outstandingly.
This year, Usain Bolt proudly represented the colors of Jamaica. The sprinter won the 4x100 meter relay, his first gold medal in the Commonwealth Games, despite a hard season.
I got injured early in the season, and I didn't want to try to take anybody's spot because I didn't get to go to the trials, so I decided that why not just come and run a 4x1, so that's how it came about.
These games are a great opportunity to watch sports, but they are also tarnished by doping cases. Botswana's runner, Amatal Modsho, tested positive after the 400-meter final. But we should remember the exceptional performances of the Canadian gymnast Bezubenko Patricia, who is only 17 and is the most decorated athlete in the tournament with 5 gold medals. There is also Australian swimmer Emma McKinn and her 6 medals, including 4 golds. The Commonwealth Games are also an opportunity for the royal family to be seen. Charles, Camilla, William and Kate visited the athletes, while the Queen herself has not hesitated to make several public appearances.
To the 71 nations and territories of the Commonwealth, your athletes, friends and families, we extend the hand of friendship and a warm invitation to join us in Queensland and City of the Gold Coast in April 2018.
Rendezvous in 2018 on the Gold Coast, Australia, for this very British competition.
Now to motorsports and to the World Rally Championship with a very emotional race in Finland. Emotional because Finland is the home of Jari Latvala. As always, it was a tight race between Latvala and the overall leader, Frenchman Sébastien Ogier. Latvala dominated most of the 4-day rally, but a brake problem threw his win into doubt. However, he held off a determined charge from Ogier to win by barely 3.6 seconds, to the delight of the home fans who saw their hero win on home soil. Champagne was pouring, but it's Ogier who keeps a solid 43-point lead in the overall standings, with just 5 races to go until the end of the season. Now to tennis, where all eyes are already set on the final Grand Slam of the year, the US Open, set to begin in 3 weeks in Flushing Meadows. World number 1 Serena Williams will try to defend her title in New York. Meanwhile, she is looking sharp in the warm-up tournaments. Serena won the title in Stanford after beating German Angelique Kraber in the final in 2 sets, 7-6 and 6-3. For Williams this year, this is the 4th title for Serena Williams this year, but she has failed so far to impress in Grand Slam tournaments in 2014, failing to go past the 4th round in the Australian Open, French Open or Wimbledon. Judging by this title, the US Open may look different. The next tournament is the Canadian Open. Serena will play in the WTA tournament in Montreal. The men's event will be held in Toronto. It will mark the return to court of Jo-Wilfried Tsonga. The world number 16 has been out of action since Wimbledon. It has been a rather tricky season so far for Tsonga. On the upside, he's part of the French team that will play in the Davis Cup semi-final next month. On the downside, he has not won a title so far this season. And that's it for us today. Thank you for joining us. We'll be here again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Have a beautiful day.